13. I forgot what episode we're on.
The Bear Roundtable Chats, episode 19.
We almost said 20.
No.
I was waiting for you to say 20.
You almost did.
Almost. Yeah. Last time.
Well, welcome to the Bear Roundtable Chats. This is Mookie.
I am Jay.
And Seth.
Seth is joining us today. He unfortunately was not able to join us last week, but he is here today.
He's replacing Leah.
Yep, and Julian.
And Julian.
Pretty much. Since he hasn't been with us for a few episodes now, but oh well.
It's okay.
Been talking about nerdy stuff, and we can all sum it up, I guess.
We need better
I don't know
technology.
I'll read the article first, and then we can just
up?
sum it up, yeah. I guess WWDC, which already happened. It's already done, right? And E3, the two big electronic expos. One's the gaming, and the other one's wireless technology, or not wireless, but
Everything else, basically.
WWDC is not just Apple, though.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
It's made
Macworld is...
No, the Worldwide Developers Conference is Apple's biggest conference.
Is Apple's biggest conference, but it's not an Apple conference.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't. Yeah, it is. I just looked it up. Yeah, it is. You're
Apple
right. Apple
developers.
Worldwide Developers Conference. So why didn't they call it AWDC then?
Well,
That would be too easy.
then it would be Apple-wide.
Anyways, I know that there was stuff at WWDC that wasn't just Apple.
Well, they had
It's an Apple.
tons of
It's Apple. It's probably an
from other
Apple-sponsored conference.
Well, they had tons of other companies with iPod accessories and all this other stuff, but
Because I thought that they were at WWDC. They were also talking about the
no,
pre-palm.
Uh-uh.
Which conference was that? Because I know they were just talking about it.
it was not WWDC.
It was
I
something
don't know
else.
what it is. I have no idea what it
Anyways,
is.
there's a bunch of electronic conferences. I know that there's a bunch of them during the summertime because it's usually when it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new technology that's coming out. The Palm Pre, there's different Samsungs that are coming out. The different carriers are rolling out with their different
Back and
networks. They're upgrading 3G, 4G's coming out, and everyone's got new phones coming out. Pretty much. 3G,
Apple and Microsoft
Yeah.
are producing brand new operating systems.
not brand new, but
Well,
like Snow Leopard is just an upgrade of OS X that's already out now. Vista is
7.
7 is kind of like Vista, but it's more of a.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's built from scratch or not. I'm not going to assume because I didn't look it up, but supposedly it's a lot more stable than Vista. It's a lot more advanced than Vista, and it's not as resource hungry as Vista because Vista can't be installed on a netbook efficiently, but Windows 7 can. I think Windows 7 has different power levels that you can install it on. I think their Windows 7 Basic is able to support.
They came out with 6 different
A
versions.
net top, yeah, and
Starter.
they had announced, and of course we don't know how truthfully they're going to stick to their word, but Microsoft has announced that Windows 7 will be officially on sale by the end of the year.
October 26th.
Right. We'll say December because there's usually delays.
Yeah.
And then I think I remember them saying that about Vista, and it didn't even get released until the next year in February.
Mm. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
January.
so yeah, we got that. They have the new iPhone 3GS.
Yes.
They have the new iPhone software 3.0. The G2 is coming out. I think it's called something else, but for lack of knowing what the term for that new phone is, because there's actually not really a lot of information about it. But anyways, HTC is releasing a new phone for the T-Mobile that's going to be keyboard-less. So it's just going to be strictly touchscreen, and I think it's going to be, what is it, capacitive touchscreen? What's the one that the iPhone is? Is it resistive or capacitive? I don't know. It's going to be the touchscreen, similar technology than the one that is the iPhone, because the G1 I think was different, so the touchscreen didn't work as well as the iPhone did. But whatever. It's going to be a new one. I think I heard somewhere that it said it was going to be 5.0 megapixel camera. So that's one-upping the iPhone 3GS, because I think that one's only 3.0. But the new iPhone's coming out with new technology. But anyways, we'll get to that because I think we got an article on it covering it, or I think you have an article on the iPhone. So right now we'll talk about what happened at E3? E3, which is the gaming expo that happens once a year.
Crazy
in fact, it was shut down a couple of years because I think they were just not generating enough popularity to have it, and then they brought it back, I think, last year. And this is the second year since the last time they restarted it, and a lot of new and exciting things have come out.
Tasty.
Nintendo hasn't really said much.
I haven't heard.
And they're sticking with the Wii. They're not planning on releasing another system anytime soon. In fact, a lot of them aren't, because a lot of the systems they have now are still only like a year or two old.
Yeah.
The Wii is still the best-selling console
but the
worldwide.
DSi? The DSi?
Well, the DSi is already out.
Yeah.
It's been out for like a couple of months, and that's the new handheld that they got.
I never heard of it.
It's good.
It's DS.
It's pretty much the DS, only
with a camera.
Slightly bigger screens, better touch screen. It has a camera on both the front, inside panel, and on the back, outside. So you can take pictures like holding it up, but it also has an inside camera. So like when you're playing it, depending on the game, it can use the camera facing you. It also has, I think, double the processor. I'm not sure.
How?
I know it's more powerful because apparently now it can support a full operating system's browser, so you can actually use it to browse the internet.
Yeah, it can use.
The only thing that they knocked off is support to any of the old Game Boy cartridges.
Ooh.
So this is the very first Game Boy that's not backwards compatible.
Oh no.
Up until the last generation DS, DS Lite.
Oh yeah.
You could play the Game Boy games from the very, very, very first Game Boy, plus all the DS games.
Wait, you just said they couldn't.
The last generation's DS, yes. The DS Lite. The new one, the DSi.
But
cannot.
can the DSi play Nintendo DS games?
Yeah, well, it uses the same. It looks
Right,
DS
yeah,
and the
it's
DSi are the same thing.
it looks like an SD card, I guess.
So
That's the new cartridge, but the old cartridge.
Oh, you have one.
Remember the old cartridges of the
Oh, yeah.
I've
original
seen
Game Boy?
it. I know.
It doesn't have a port for that anymore. The old DS did. This new one that just came out does not. They took that away. So it's not backwards compatible anymore. But that's not that much of a big deal because now I think they have their own like iTunes sort of store where you can download games to the DS.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have like an iTunes
S
program.
They have a game
software?
store. Yeah, where you can download games because they have those chips that look like the SD cards. They actually have an SD card form of one where you can put it in the DSi, download games, and install it to the chip. Download it to the chip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How much is that going for?
I think it's
The
150. I think.
Yeah, and if you trade in your old DS, I think
cheaper.
they reduce it to $70. I think GameStop has that offering. And I don't know if they still have it or not, but I was thinking about it because I was like, that's not that bad.
What if I trade in my PSP?
They do have a new
Well,
PSP.
GameStop takes anything used, so I'm pretty sure they'll be able to give you money back for
they
something
rip you
or
off
credit.
so hard.
Do they?
GameStop?
Yeah, it's the only thing. There's no Funko Land anymore. No one knows what Funko Land is.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I know.
There's another one. EB. No.
Electronics Boutique,
Yeah. No.
EB Games.
Yeah, was it EB Games?
Well,
Yeah.
it used to be called Electronics Boutique, and then they shortened the name into EB Games.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a GameStop similar. It's just an electronics gaming store.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said that GameStop was the only one. I just named you one.
Well, it's the only one that I know of that accepts used things. Does EB Games accepts trade-ins?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
I think so. How do they sell used games if they don't buy them first?
True.
I didn't know they sold used games. I don't go to EB Games. There's not one near here that I know of.
I don't even know.
Anyways,
I think they.
Moving on.
I don't know
I
how
think
we
they're
got
bought
into
off.
this. Anyways, yeah, the new DSi is out. Nintendo. Sony hasn't really announced anything that I know of. I haven't really looked it up.
They have a new version of PSP.
Yeah, the PSP Go. So it looks like a slider
PSP.
phone where the screen and the keyboard slides out like that. The keyboard slides under it, and
yeah.
so you can actually have controllers right there.
How about they make a backwards compatible
PS3? She doesn't have one. Huh?
I say, how about they make a backwards compatible PS3, and then maybe I'll think about it.
PS3?
Yeah.
They have a
PlayStation 3?
They have a backwards compatible PlayStation 3.
This is not backwards compatible with all games.
Not with all of them.
If it was compatible with all
But
of them.
even Xbox 360, it's not all the games aren't backwards compatible.
But that's besides the point, because I don't really have that many PlayStation 2 games to begin with, and there's nothing on the PlayStation 3 that warrants me wanting to get one. So
I thought there's a download, though, like an upgrade.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
the PS Go.
Oh.
The PSP Go.
That's cool.
And then, so Microsoft, with the Xbox, has been the biggest showing at E3, supposedly. So, with their new Project Natal, or
Natal.
Project Naval.
I went to Nepal. Natal.
You control everything using your belly button. But anyways, so Project Natal is supposed to be this really weird, like, bar device that kind of looks like the sensor for the Wii, but instead of it being controlled wirelessly with a remote control, you use yourself as the remote control. There is no control. It recognizes the person's movement to play the game depending on the type of game that you play. So now they haven't mentioned whether this is going to come out for this Xbox, or if it's going to come out for another system Xbox. But back when it was like first released, Microsoft had mentioned that they weren't planning on making a new Xbox after the Xbox 360 until 10 years. That they wanted the lifespan of the Xbox 360 to be 10 years before they upgraded to something new. So it could probably be an attachment to the Xbox 360 to be able to make this thing work.
More than likely.
It looks like really cool technology. It looks very promising. I just don't know if the existing Xbox 360s can support this kind of hardware, and on top of that, how hard it is to develop software for this type of gaming. There's hasn't been no word yet on whether software developers, for third-party developers, to be able to test it out to see if it's feasible or how hard it is to program a game of this caliber. And of course, it's going to be a lot more immersive, so to make an interesting game, one that lasts a while, it's probably going to take a lot more time to develop one game than it has been already.
But then again, if they do go with the whole Milo thing, which we haven't explained yet, but if they go with that, you're gonna have you're gonna spend more time on a game. You're gonna have.
Well, that's the thing, is that if the game is that immersive, they've been probably messing around with Project Milo, which is part of Project Natal, but by Lionshead, which is the company that made Black and White. They've probably been developing that for years now. They've been working on this demo, just a demo, for years. You know, we don't know too much about how much of the timeline they've been working on just that. And on top of that, they haven't really created a new game. You know, from the time that you start a new project till the end product, how long is it going to take to make a Project Natal game?
But years. I mean, they were working on the Xbox 360
this way.
for 3 years.
Lionsgate is a third-party company. It's not in any way related, or I don't know actually if it's owned by Microsoft or not.
Lionsgate?
Yeah.
Aren't they a film?
Yeah.
Film producer or whatever.
Yeah.
Lionsgate
makes films.
They're the ones that did Scary Movie. The ones that sucked.
The ones that suck.
Lionhead.
Okay.
Lionhead's project. They've been probably working and messing around with some sort of artificial intelligence program for a long time. And then when Microsoft probably approached them with, hey, we got this new system, do you want to try it out on this? they probably adapted it to that hardware and software. So it's not something that they were building specifically for the Natal. We have no idea. Mm-hmm. And we don't know how long they've been working on this Milo project for. That's what I'm saying is that.
But it couldn't have been too long. I mean, if you think about it, it's only been in 20 years since...
The little 5-minute demo that they had probably took them a year.
Well, yeah, most definitely. But I mean, if you think about it...
that was just 5 minutes of gameplay.
The gaming industry has been probably one of the fastest growing, fastest updating... because you think
almost every 4 to 5 years is a new system, yes.
20 years ago, it was Nintendo.
And that was it.
So
I mean, there was Atari that came before it and stuff like that, but Nintendo was the very first one that was the most widespread.
I mean,
successful,
yeah.
You can't count on both hands all the systems that have come out since, and all the upgrades they had. The Xbox 360, then they have a new version of the Xbox 360. I mean,
like a lot of them now, like the new systems they use computer spec.
And a lot of them are self-upgrading. They can upgrade themselves. So, like since they can connect, they have a lot of upgrades that you can do. Like Julian's Xbox, since mine can't connect to the internet, Julian's Xbox is actually more updated because it has that little. Was that where you created a little person or whatever?
Oh,
mine doesn't have that, but the Xbox has its own. And the PlayStation 3, too, has this constant updates. So it's constantly improving, even though you're
updating software-wise, not hardware-wise.
Yeah, hardware-wise.
I was asking, how does it update software?
It's like Transformers, dude. It downloads this mic. It learns things, and then eventually you'll have a...
Trying to do that.
Did you just transform yourself into...
a flower?
A flower? Kind of gay of the waving of the hands there a little bit, Jay.
Whatever.
But anyways, let's go to the article. It says Project Natal basis for new Xbox console in fall, possibly 2010. We don't know, but we'd be careful about putting too much stock into an admittingly far off rumor. But the gang at OneUp.com claim that they've heard from those in the know that Microsoft's set to release a new Xbox console fall 2010, and that current media darling Project Natal is the cornerstone of that evolution. Spec-wise, it's suggested that we're looking at only a marginal boost, analogs to Nintendo's GameCube to Wii transition. Place your bets on how long it'll take to max out this time, as well as a rebranding. Xbox Natal, maybe? Aimed at attracting the highly coveted, more mainstream, casual audience before Mario and the crew catch a second wind with the oft-rumored Wii HD, because I think the Wii is the only next-generation console that doesn't support HD content.
Yeah.
I don't think it has HDMI.
It doesn't... It's not as... graphics-wise, it's not that great. I
still like it, and I'm gonna go get a Wii anyways. I don't care.
It's cool. It's also it's the cheapest.
It is the cheapest. It's like $240.
And honestly, the games I've played on the Wii aren't that fun. Other than the Wii Sports.
Oh no, I want to get the Super Mario Sunshine, or not Sunshine. Mario Kart definitely. the one where he like travels into different worlds or whatever it's called.
I think it was Super Mario Party or something.
No,
Mario Party is that's okay. No. That's not that.
No. It I forget the title's name. I don't know.
Okay.
And the Zelda game, the Zelda Twilight.
Zelda Twilight. Okay, no, I'm thinking of something else.
And then there's a new Zelda game that they've been working on that they say is going to be released for the Wii, not the next generation console.
Zelda's a badass. That's why.
Metroid. Love those Metroid games. Anyways, there's games that I like on the Wii that's the reason why I'm going to buy it, and it's because it is so cheap and readily available right now. But anyways.
Wait for it.
What?
Hold on. There's nothing unbelievable about these whispers, but again, fall 2010 is quite a ways off, and anything can happen in the meantime.
See if you recognize this.
Yeah. like Zelda.
The only Zelda game I played was the Ocarina of Time on an N64.
That was a great game.
That was a great one, yeah.
So was the
best one was the Super Nintendo, in my opinion.
Super Nintendo. No, the first Zelda game for the Nintendo 64, which was the
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Which
it was
a great game.
That's awesome.
Also, the Mask was a pretty fun one.
Yeah,
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask.
That
they had one where he turned into a wolf. That one sucked.
That's the Twilight.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, this one was for the GameCube.
It is. Zelda game. The Twilight Princess came out for the GameCube and the Wii.
Oh well, then I played it and it sucked.
I like the Wii version better because it's a little bit more interactive with the wireless remote. But anyways, I think the Super Nintendo one was the best, just because it had the Link to the Past. That's what it was. Zelda: Link to the Past, because it was the first game that came out with the newest graphics, which now is like really, really old. But anyways, that had it was just like the very first one. It was overhead screen. It was huge. It had like 20 different dungeons. No, it had 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It had like 15 dungeons, which was huge at the time. It had hours and hours of gameplay, and it was very, very complex and stuff like that, and it was very entertaining. I liked it.
So was the Nintendo 64 version. The
map but apparently huge. None of y'all played the Super Nintendo one.
Well, dude, because we're not that old.
Huh?
I played the Super Nintendo one time.
Once? That's it?
Maybe a few more.
Man, I grew up playing the Super Nintendo.
See, when I was younger, I owned a Super Nintendo, but I was so young that I only had, I think it was Super Mario and the Duck Hunt. It's the only games I owned, and I was so young I didn't know you could get other games for it. So that's all I played was Duck Hunt and Mario.
There.
What is it, PlayStation?
Xbox 360.
I have an Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways.
We could play Soul Calibur.
We'll move on from
we should do that.
The nerdy video game subject and continue with the news. The hard-hitting news that we have of the day.
Yes.
Yes.
I like this one that I saw on O'Reilly Factor earlier this week.
It better be funny.
If I don't laugh, so help me.
Cop tasers.
So God.
No.
We're cutting it.
Shove something up your nostrils so hard.
If y'all let me.
Go ahead.
Speak it.
Hurry up.
Raw video. Cop tasers 72-year-old granny.
Yep, I remember that. I think
I have the videos right here. Hold on. It was.
Have you seen it or?
I've seen it. Like they played it on Fox News a couple of days ago. I was like, what the hell?
Really? Was it edited?
No.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure like the one online may be
Here's a video of it here.
Now what is this?
Just some cop tases a 72-year-old lady.
She was. There's another corresponding video that like they talk about on the news about what actually happened.
Can you tilt it down?
Oh, right there. Here's it.
Go.
Look at this.
He's like manhandling her.
He pushes her. Then he's about to tase her. There.
Oh my gosh.
Tasers.
She's screaming.
I know.
It's like, I don't know if I would tase her.
And this just happened to happen in our state. This was Travis County in Texas.
What race was she?
She's white.
Oh, she's white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get
she's a great grandmother.
They had a news story on it too, so
it's greatness.
A 72-year-old woman pulled over for speeding is tasered and then sent to jail. The arresting officer says she was threatening him and using profanity.
Oh my God, that warranted a taser.
Yeah.
She went out and spoke with her today. Carrie, standing by with more.
And Mike, the 72-year-old great-grandmother, tells us she's never been to jail until she was pulled over for speeding in a work zone and found herself being tasered before she was handcuffed. Officers say they did all of this for a reason. 72-year-old Catherine Winkfine says she drives to Austin about twice a month to do her shopping. But on a Monday afternoon, a Travis County constable deputy pulled her over on her way back to Granite Shoals.
Jackass.
Instructions on workers being present. 45.
No, the cop.
16.
Winkfine admits she was speeding in the dangerous strip of Highway 71 and Bee Creek. But what happened next? The stories differ.
Read around on that before.
What road is it?
71.
Oh, I've been on there.
That's when the officer says Winkfine exited her vehicle and did not cooperate.
She refused to get away from the side of the road, poured more toward the bar ditch, and that's when he asked her, "Well, ma'am, you're under arrest." You know, she used some profanity.
Constable McKay
He looks really intelligent.
Yeah. That's when the officer used a taser.
He looks like a dumbass.
Yeah, she is white. That's her, right?
Yeah, that's her.
Holy.
It's like an electric shock. A shock.
It's like an electric shock. I had no idea taser was like an electric shock. That surprised me. It electrified me, if you will.
The great-grandmother was taken to the Travis County jail, where she was booked for resisting arrest and detention. She was released shortly after. Now she's hired attorneys to protect her rights. Was it appropriate for your officer to use a taser?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said yes.
Well, no, what was the question?
Do you think,
Do you think it was appropriate for the officer to use the taser?
He's like throwing her around. He's like throwing her around, so it's like
crazy.
He could have just grabbed her.
He could have just
taken it, said,
just like cuffed her. No, you have to go taser her.
Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the entire whole story. Stop touching the screen, you're going to dirty it with your mitts.
What? My mitts?
I can't believe that's funny. I mean, that's messed up.
See? Funny video. Funny story. There.
Well, she's still alive, so we can laugh at it. If she was dead, we'd like have a moment of silence and still laugh at it.
If she'd have died, that probably could have killed her.
It would have been a huge story. It would have been so blown up.
Most old people have heart conditions, and
it was like electric.
It's like an electric shock. Oh, man.
I had no idea.
Well,
crazy.
I thought it was going to be sticky. I didn't know it was electric. Anyways, parents hound out the Muslim school secretary they thought was a man. A teacher's aide at a girls' school was forced to quit her job because they didn't believe that she was really a woman. I have irrefutable medical evidence that I'm a woman. You need medical evidence to prove you're a chick? Why don't you just show the badge?
Exactly.
Just open the Quran.
Bam.
She's Muslim.
Bam. Here you are.
You couldn't find it.
Angry parents hounded a woman out of her job at a Muslim school because they believed that she was a man. Shifa Patel, a 28-year-old secretary, was accused of hiding her masculinity behind a traditional headscarf and robes. What they're supposed to wear?
Yeah.
If they're Muslim?
All women usually wear that type of crap. Like, no matter what it's like.
The hate campaign started when photographs of the short-haired Miss Patel wearing a shirt and trousers were spotted on Facebook. They were copied and emailed to dozens of concerned parents as proof that Miss Patel was indeed a man. In a bid to diffuse the rumor, she underwent a humiliating medical examination to prove that she was in fact a woman. But parents refused to believe the results, and the head teacher resorted to writing to all the parents, assuring them that the secretary wasn't a man. Miss Patel was finally forced to quit after a mob of parents gathered at the Al-Isla Muslim...
Some crap.
Al-Isla, or whatever, I don't know. Muslim girls' school in Blackburn and demanded governors sack her immediately.
Damn.
Police were called to the school last Monday and had to disperse the more than a dozen parents at the gates. Last night, a distraught Miss Patel said, I have your... blah, blah, blah. I will never forgive those who did this to me and spread the lies.
Lies!
So Facebook will get you fired, pretty much, is the moral of the story.
Exactly!
Do you have a picture of this woman? Because I want to see if she looks like a man.
Let me see if they do.
Because, I mean, that must have been an expensive medical...
procedure.
Like, oh.
What?
It's Pat.
Yeah, they had a picture of Pat on there.
You know what Pat is?
No, I don't think he knows what Pat is. It's an old Pat? SNL reference skit. That's Pat.
No, I don't know what that is.
And
no one knows what that is.
Mrs. Garrison.
Yeah.
Mrs. Garrison?
Hypnotoad.
Oh,
no, try to find her
Hypnotoad.
I don't know if I'm curious enough to look at her Facebook. If she had short hair and looked mannish,
yeah, that would.
that's something I kind of want to look up, anyways. But anyway,
some girls
sucks.
actually do that.
Where did this happen?
Look all mannish or whatever.
I'm trying to figure out where this happened. It doesn't say where exactly.
In Muzzland.
No, it's in the in Muzzland. Seriously, Muzzland. I think it was in the UK
she
somewhere.
She was Muslim,
yeah,
right?
it was in the UK.
Freaking British.
So, anyways,
and Muslims.
that's that. What's the next one, Jeff?
Let's see. So let's look at this one right here. Credit union executive faces 93 more counts in porn case.
Yay!
Wait, say that again.
Credit union executive faces 93 more counts in porn case. Yeah.
I think there's right under 100 counts of the fact that he had pornography. Was it child pornography, I think is what it said?
Yes.
Oh, it's child pornography.
A vice president of Aguilan Credit Union arrested last month on charges of possession of child pornography returned to jail Thursday after 93 more charges were added to the case.
Woohoo! The guy has child porn. He's in here, College Station.
Yes. The new charges against Greg Baird, age 38.
You paid for some of that porn.
I have to be like Julian. I wouldn't party with that guy.
There you go. Were issued in a grand jury indictment case and raised the number of counts he faces to 100. Authorities say they were not ready to release the information on what prompted the new charges. The new charges were issued by a grand jury convened by the 361st District Court, whatever that is. Baird was arrested in Pecos. Where's Pecos?
Pecos.
Pecos County or Pecos, Texas? Or?
It looks like a city.
It's probably near here.
Somewhere.
Since it's somewhere around here anyways.
Yeah. It was on May 19th, a day after the authorities obtained an arrest warrant and sent out the word that they were looking for him. A house sitter has tipped police that Baird was in possession of child pornography. Authorities.
His name is
Baird.
Oh, Baird.
B-A-I-R-D, like the bread.
Baird.
Country.
Anyways, we get it.
So basically, he likes children.
I say we get a picture of him and put a pedo bear on his face.
Yes.
In other news, Denise Richards likes friends with benefits.
Who? What?
Yes.
Denise Richards.
It's complicated.
Life is short, and I want to have a good time, says the actress.
Damn it.
Denise Richards may be single, but in a revealing new interview, she said her physical desires are well taken care of. While promoting the return of her reality series, Denise Richards, It's Complicated, during an interview with Billy Bush. I said Brush. With Billy Bush, Richards said she's following in the footsteps of another Hollywood star who once sought brief romantic interludes. I interviewed Angelina Jolie years ago. She was single, and I asked, "What do you do about guys? You've got Maddox." And she said, "I don't want anybody in my life right now, but I do occasionally take some time off, a few hours, and go to a hotel and take a lover." Bush told Richards.
Bush.
What? How is she the one of two celebrities that does that?
Oh, there are
one
more
of two
than
celebrities that admit.
I bet every celebrity.
True.
Yep. I'm right there with her. Because you don't want to bring them home to your house, but as a woman who likes to have a good time as well, and has certain needs, yeah, I do the same thing. When asked if she has a friend with benefits, Richards confirmed she does, and explained why. Yes, I do. Friends with benefits are awesome, she giggled. I used to be...
What?
I hate you so much. I used to be like, oh no, you have to be in a relationship. After going through a divorce, going through all of this, I'm like, life is short, I want to have a good time, and I want to meet the one. Or when I meet the one, I'll be with him, and it'll be all good. But until then, I like to have a good time. Richards declined to reveal any identifying details of her mystery pal, but she opened up another topic, her 3 breast implant surgeries over the years. It was a dumb mistake I made when I was 19 years old. I just moved to Los Angeles and I had a gorgeous roommate who got new breasts, and I was so self-conscious about it because kids made fun of me because I was flat. I made the mistake and bought it myself. Richards said the first surgery resulted in complications, which eventually led to a second surgery. The second time, because you're under anesthesia, they made them bigger, which looked ridiculous on my frame, she said. Then, after I did Bond, The World Is Not Enough, I had them changed out and made smaller. The actress said she regretted having them in the first place and hopes young women don't follow suit, at least without some serious research. It was a dumb mistake, it was a stupid thing, blah, 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 whatever. I want to see sex tape of Denise Richards with, what's that other chick? Transformers chick? Megan Fox. Yes! It's Megan Fox in the news a couple weeks ago. Hard-hitting news a couple weeks ago that she was bisexual. Now we have Denise Richards, who's also bisexual, who likes friends with benefits. Maybe her secret pal that she's not willing to disclose is maybe Megan Fox. Who knows? I know I will be fantasizing about that tonight.
I think this is boring. This is like
Denise Richards is hot. Denise Richards news is excellent. You don't like Denise Richards? What about Wild Things?
This isn't E. I don't give a shit about celebrities.
This isn't E either. This is MSNBC.
Well, this is the Bear Chats, and we don't give a shit about celebrities.
No, you don't.
You don't.
I give a shit about celebrities I want to bang.
Hell yeah.
Shut it.
Ouch.
Jay just entered your fantasy.
Stop it! You guys do that at the worst times.
Yeah.
Why are you excited about being in my fantasy, you jackass?
What?
Get out of my head!
Oh man.
I get this picture and you're like, ooh, Denise, and then Jay's like, from behind the couch.
He's like the Quagmire I don't find funny. Oh.
Do Quagmire.
Yes.
Do it.
That's awful. That's awful.
No, you gotta do it. I want to hear you do it.
Oh, red.
No, he's definitely in your...
Alright. Go ahead.
Giggity. Giggity. Breast light. A light for breasts.
Next. Well, I mean, it's not... It's a boring article if you don't have the pictures. The pictures are hilarious.
WHO declares swine flu epidemic. A pandemic, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me look up the breast light first.
Okay.
I'm going to show
Sir.
What other story?
Stuff here. It looks like one of those electric toothbrushes, but you put it up to someone's boob and you turn it on. That's a boob.
You're a boob.
And that's a nipple.
Well, wait, what does it look for?
That's the nipple outer ring.
I know, but what is it supposed to be looking for?
What's circled? Those are abnormalities that can be found to whether detect if you have breast cancer or not. Instead of a Cheeto.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Of course. I'm gonna get me one of those so I can examine every girl I know.
You know guys can get breast cancer.
Shut up.
You should check yourself.
I don't have any lumps. I'm feeling myself right now and I don't have any lumps.
Yeah, I got it.
Alright. But anyways, that's the wrestling. What other news you have?
It was, if you give me my news.
Why? What were you looking for?
I don't know. I was just looking through it.
WHO declares swine flu pandemic, and we're not talking the
pandemic, not epidemic.
Pandemic.
So then until we get to code epidemic, she'll be at panic. Oh. But anyways.
What's a pandemic?
And I'm not really going to read the story, but basically...
What does the pandemic mean? Or I'll look it up while you summarize.
Basically, what the World Health Organization is basically saying that the swine flu is a pandemic in relation to not it getting worse, but it's spreading in a more wider range for it to be considered a pandemic.
Ah.
So, in other words, a pandemic. Be careful about swine flu because it could hit you next. Which, in fact, there was a case at A&M.
There's 2 or 3 known cases in the College Station Bryan area, I think.
Yeah, there's one that they claimed over at A&M in the visual arts department, and so they had to cancel classes or whatever.
Woo-hoo! A pandemic is an epidemic of infectious disease that spreads through the population across a large region. For instance, a continent, or even worldwide. So it's like, I guess they have put it up there with HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
It's like cholera, influenza, typhus, smallpox, measles, tuberculosis, leprosy, malaria, yellow fever, viral hemorrhagic fevers, antibiotic resistance, SARS, influenza, and yes, that sort of shit.
Oh, so it is an epidemic. So
no, it's a pandemic.
No, it's a
pandemic, sir.
Well, it's a specific type of an.
Oh, so it is an epidemic,
but a specific type.
But like I said,
it's a pandemic.
It is
specifically a pandemic. Don't.
All right, so we panic.
Holy crap!
A man has crap beaten out of him while sitting on the toilet. Was it one stinker who did this? No, it was 2.
Oh man!
Teens attack man on toilet in St. Louis or Lucci, I don't know.
Lucci.
After spying cash in wallet. A 61-year-old man was beaten and robbed by 2 teens as he sat on the toilet at a business on Angle Road, according to recently released sheriff's report. The victim told St. Louis County Sheriff's investigators he was in a bathroom on the side of Fred's Grocery at 11:44 a.m. Wednesday when 2 teenagers entered. One hit him in the face by his eye, while the other stole his wallet from his pants, which were down around his knees, the report said. The victim told the store owner, who called 911. The store owner told investigators that boys, thought to be 16 and 17, were behind the victim in line and showed interest in the amount of cash in his wallet. The man's wallet had about $87 in it. The suspects were described as weighing 140 to 150 pounds and 5'7" and 5'9". One had dreadlocks and wore a white t-shirt while the other wore a maroon shirt. That was it. Well, a story like that needed to have more poop involved. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Kicking my dad's ass all day today.
You were thinking of...
What the hell?
Oh. Is that like making fun of Bam and Jerry?
Come on, Stewie. You're acting crazy out there.
I was thinking about that.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright, let's see. Inmate sues over 55-hour erection.
That's hard.
Oh, man.
That's all I needed. The story is going to be boring.
No, you have to read the last line.
What?
The very last line?
The last line, it has a little kind of thing to it.
What does the last line say?
He can read the story.
Alright, go ahead.
It's really short.
Just read the whole story.
It's really
short?
Yeah, it's
okay, go ahead.
short.
If it's short, go ahead.
An ex-prisoner in New York is suing his former prisoners for failing to treat his painful erection, which lasted 55 hours before he was admitted to a hospital. Ex-con Duwadi Udala, weird name, says he became worried after his antipsychotic medication left him erect for 14 hours.
So wait, for not taking his antipsychotic medicine?
No, he took an antipsychotic medicine, and it gave him an erect penis. He had an erect penis for 14 hours, and he talked to the nurse, and she neglected him.
He checked into the prison infirmary, where, according to the lawsuit, nurse Judith Lovelace simply told him to put ice on his penis. Lovelace.
Oh, okay.
Simply told him to put ice on his penis and send him back to his cell. Udala says he suffered for more than 2 days, long enough to cause permanent damage, but not long enough for his wife to plan a conjugal visit before being taken to a hospital. His lawsuit claims that Lovelace's negligence caused severe damage to his penis, including erectile dysfunction, inability to ejaculate, and pain during sexual intercourse. Even worse, the physical distress is the fact that other inmates won't stop asking him, "Is that a shiv in your jumpsuit, or are you just happy to see me?" Ha ha!
That was it?
That's retarded.
It's an interesting story, though.
Good news, possible cure for cancer. Bad news, it's Down syndrome. And the story's too long to read. That's good.
I like it.
Jim Cramer's
why do people with Down syndrome have less cancer? Research in mice and human stem cells suggest new therapeutic targets. Most cancers are rare in people with Down syndrome, whose overall cancer mortality is shown 10% of what in the general population. Since they have an extra copy of chromosome 21, it's been proposed that people with Down syndrome may be getting an extra dose of one or more cancer-protective genes. And then there's paragraphs and paragraphs of boring stuff.
But
so yeah.
I mean, if you have Down syndrome, you really don't live until you're past 200. It's mental retardation.
Oh, okay.
It's a kind.
So Peter Griffin will never get cancer.
You know those,
exactly.
No. You know those people who like their eyes are really small and they have the ears that are like here. You know what I'm talking about?
People we saw sword fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Down syndrome, and they don't live that long. They only live to be like 20. They all.
It's just wrong.
No, you gotta see that video.
There's a video of
it's horrible. I'm going to hell for watching and laughing my ass off.
No, the funny one was the dance.
Oh yeah, I know.
Where he's like, and the guy's like.
Anyways, go ahead.
What?
No, that was my story.
That was your story?
Done. I'm not going to read the entire article. It was boring. I don't have that much of an attention span.
Let's see. Octomom the musical opening soon.
What the hell is Oh,
you don't remember Octomom?
I remember now.
Okay.
I was thinking of a superhero
whose vagina is now a log ride.
Yeah.
Octomom took center stage Wednesday in Los Angeles as the recently chosen cast in a new musical made their first appearance together. The musical centers around Nadia Sulman, the mother who made headlines after delivering octuplets. Actress Kalimba Bennett has lead role as Nadia Sulman. The main thing about it is just fun. There's no being made fun. There's no one being made fun of. It's all fun and games.
How do you not make fun of somebody
exactly
in a musical about somebody and making it fun?
So, let me ask the question, will the real Octomom provide her vagina to use as the curtains for the stage?
I don't know.
No, she's currently working on having like 30 more children.
Probably.
That's all I needed. I don't think I'm curious enough. When does it come out?
The musical is scheduled to open July 1st at the Paul Gleason Theater in Hollywood.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
The Bear Chats will be there.
On the next Bear Roundtable Chats.
We will fuck off Octomom.
Yeah.
We will sign penis jokes.
Anyway.
On a poster.
10 famous men with only one ball. And that's today's penis story of the day.
Woohoo!
In the biological sense, one testicle works just as well as two. Nevertheless, having a single, lonely nut can be the source of a great embarrassment for a guy. But it turns out there may be an upside to the monochrysm. As asylum analysts of famous people rumored to have only one testicle, has exposed that half a sack may increase your chances of becoming a professional athlete or a military despot. Case in point, according to a new book, Spanish dictator General Francisco Franco was a member of the Mononad Club. Check out our list of 9 other one-eyed willies and decide for yourself. Napoleon Bonaparte. Did you know Napoleon wasn't really short? In fact, he was just about average sized for the Frenchmen of his era. So it's possible the complex comes from him being one testicle short of a pair.
Oh.
Adolf Hitler.
Hitler had the ball.
At this point, you're probably wondering if Stalin and Mussolini were also mono kids.
I don't know.
Monarchies? I don't know. If they were uniballing it.
Monarchies.
Uniballing.
From what we know, they weren't.
Aww.
John Kruk. When the baseball player turned analyst enters a room, there will be an odd number of testicles in that room.
I don't know who John Crook is.
I have no idea either.
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold
Explain the
Schwarzenegger.
obsession with weightlifting. Lance Armstrong. Does Lance Armstrong's uninut hang left or right? Only his bicycle seat knows. That's a good one. Mike Lowell. Lowell?
Lau.
Lau?
I don't know.
Wow.
We're basing his solely on the fact that Red Sox third baseman had surgery for testicular cancer. But even if he only has one ball, his scrotum is still going to be in better overall shape than former teammate Manny Ramirez's.
I don't watch baseball.
I guess.
I don't
know either. Frank Church, the Idaho senator, revealed his monochrysm during his run for the Democratic presidential nomination of 1976. Ultimately, he lost to a two-testicle Jimmy Carter. Tom Green, the gonzo comedian, went there and documented his testicle removal in a television special. Yeah, I remember that.
Tom Green is a freak of nature.
And then number 1, Hansi Kronje.
Who the fuck is that?
You may have not heard of him, but Kronje was a big-time international cricketer in the 1990s who was kicked out of the game for matching fixed and ultimately died in a shady plane crash. That right-handed batsman accomplished this all with only one nad.
Nice.
Oh, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cricket is such a huge...
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I have 2 balls.
Yeah.
Albeit they're small, but I have 2 of them.
Well,
2 of them myself.
Rub it in.
They're nice walnut sized. They're kind of wrinkled too. Lots and lots of hair.
Lots and lots of
Lots and lots of hair.
I don't think I want
You see my head? More than this.
I don't want that image now. Damn it.
He's got Wookiee nuts.
That's revenge for being in my fantasies, jackass. Always jumping in there unwanted. Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay. Secret Service agent attacked in Scranton road rage.
Scrotum road rage?
Scranton.
Oh, okay. I heard scrotum. I'm still thinking about balls. I'm sorry.
Wookie balls.
Okay.
Go.
Hurry up and read it.
Scranton, Pennsylvania. A northeastern Pennsylvania man is accused of attacking a Secret Service agent with brass knuckles and a chunk of asphalt.
He said asphalt.
Scranton Police Chief David Elliott.
Police Chief?
That's how it was written. David Elliott says Agent William Slavosky tapped his sirens Tuesday evening when a pickup truck that had been moving erratically on the expressway stopped in front of him. Police say the pickup driver got out and approached the agent asking, "What are you, some kind of cop?" Police say Slavosky identified himself as a Secret Service agent and told the man to return to his truck, but an altercation ensued. Bad idea. Police arrested 25-year-old Kenneth Kyle of Kingston, who was arraigned Wednesday and held in lieu of a $20,000 bail. Slavosky is recovering at home from injuries to his face, head, and left arm. Kyle was treated for a lip laceration. Bam.
We don't have much time left, so go ahead and choose what you think is the best news articles we have so far. I'll look at something here really quickly.
Futurama's reborn.
In other news, Jack in the Box mini chicken or buffalo chicken ranch thing.
Oh, were they?
Pretty damn good.
Were they good?
Yeah.
You like them?
Oh, Starbucks doubled up to 1 million customers. Double billed.
Who? Firefox?
Starbucks,
like, they basically charge people twice as much.
I'm not surprised.
They do that. Their menu prices are like 3 times as much already.
Pot for personal use will be legal in California by 2010.
That's not surprising.
A 6-foot HDMI cable for $3.19 shipped.
Wait.
Huh?
A 6-foot HDMI cable for $3.19 shipped.
Yeah, online it's cheaper.
Well, the cable's actually 21 cents.
Yeah, shipping and handling is like $2.50.
Yeah.
I thought pots were already legal.
David Carradine dead in mystery penis bondage.
Read that one right now.
Okay.
You know David Carradine? Carradine?
Carradine.
You know who he is, right? Nope.
Guy, he was on
TV show, that Kung Fu. What is it? Kung Fu Master or whatever? Kung Fu TV show.
Nope. I thought he was in Kill Bill.
He was Bill in Kill Bill.
Oh.
Yeah.
What happened? He died, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He hung himself.
Or Thailand or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, professional Orient monk impersonator and Hollywood actor David Carradine was discovered dead under mysterious circumstances earlier this week in Bangkok, in his Bangkok hotel room. Bangkok tabloid newspaper Thai Wrath was one of the first news sources at the scene of the ongoing investigation and printed a front-page photo which allegedly shows the actor hanging from a fixture in his hotel room in what appears to be a wig and women's clothing. When Carradine was discovered, his wrists and penis were found bound by a length of rope, which was then affixed to a wall mount rack, possibly to achieve a state of autoerotic asphyxiation. That sounds very weird. Foul play has not been ruled out in the case of Carradine's death, as it is supposed that this could be an elaborate cover-up for a rumored murder by organized criminals, though a motive is not apparent. Thai Wrath's publication of the photo, albeit without Carradine's genitalia in view, has caused outrage with his family, which claims the newspaper had no right to publish the photograph. Due to the low quality of the photograph, several interpretations of the situation have been made, such as Carradine was wearing women's tights on his lower extremities were discolored because of blood loss, and the ever popular assumption that this is not Carradine at all. Even pictures of the original photo have been blurred since Tyrath published the images. This is claimed to be the door outside the hotel room where... Oh, never mind. Basically, yeah. That's the story.
That's a picture of him in the article.
How can you tell it's him?
I don't know. That's a wig, remember? He's wearing a wig.
Yeah, but I can't see his face at all.
Oh, I know, but they're not going to show that the front side.
Oh, that's the back.
So yeah, that's
weird.
So
that's how I want to go.
My condolences to the Kung Fu Master's family.
Yeah, but that's how I want to go.
With a rope tied to my penis?
No, my penis.
I wouldn't party with that guy.
I want to be hanging from the wall, naked, in women's makeup, and a wig.
Oh man, is it not working? Am I disconnected?
You're overusing the boo.
Aw.
Get your...
I found a shit ton of articles that I wanted to read, and they're not loading anymore. Yep, I guess my laptop finally overheated.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I guess I'll just read some of the headlines since we're about to finish anyways. Man told to keep his loud bike-riding cock off of Miami Beach. What? That's the article. I mean, I wish I could read what it was about. But, let's see. Breaking into schools and letting animals loose was a prank in the 1970s and 80s. Today, that could be considered a terrorist act.
Let me see if I have that.
So people can get arrested for that. The Supreme Court clears the way for the Chrysler-Fiat deal. Now Fiat, I think, officially now bought Chrysler. It's
Fiat.
French-owned now. Let's see. They also passed the cash for clunkers legislation. I don't know if you heard about that.
So Chrysler's still around then?
Owned by French dudes.
Suicide problem escalates for Latinas.
Oh yeah, no.
Why are we just doing headlines now?
Because I can't pull up the pages to read the article.
It's so fun just to do headlines.
Bender's back. There's...
I have an article on that one.
Let's do an article on Bender.
One of several.
In related news, let's see, where is it?
What?
Man rents and lives in a 77 square foot closet. No word if his roommate bends things. Yeah, probably lives in Bender's closet.
It's It's official. Futurama is reborn. Holy Bending Rodriguez. Six years
Jesus Christ, stop with the Futurama references. Just when is it coming out, and how many episodes they got ready?
26 new episodes to air in the beginning of 2010.
Holy crap, that's a whole season.
I don't know.
You sound so excited there.
I don't know. It doesn't say what network.
It could be Fox, it could be Comedy Central, it could be...
Adult Swim.
Yeah, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network.
Do you know who else has 26 episodes? Your mom.
Anyways.
This doesn't even make any sense.
She has 26 episodes.
Then there was
volumes.
The 3 people that were shot at the DC Holocaust Museum. I don't know anything about it.
No, I don't know anything about it.
I should shoot you.
You should shut up. Facebook vanity URLs are now available.
Facebook. Oh.
In other words, your username is facebook.com/your username.
Well, who cares about that kind of stuff?
Because I don't want it to be facebook.com/54992food43351.
Actually, you know what? You want to know what a friend of mine did with MySpace, and he got all kinds of viewers, which we should have done with the Bear Chats. He did myspace.com/here or me or something like that, and
Facebook
all these people just look at it.
Facebook is
when they're bored.
Not letting you use common names. It has to be like
some weird username,
like either your name, personal name, or something like that.
Well, that's retarded.
They're putting a lot of limitations.
They don't let you do here.
No. They won't let, the people try to do pizza.
Pizza.
They can't do it. You have to use like a name or a company name.
That's gay. Facebook doesn't control my life.
The TV analog channels officially changed over yesterday.
Yep.
No more.
Did you notice the difference?
All
no, you didn't. Because it didn't happen to you.
No, it's just because
that was protected by Sunlink. Sunlink.
An Alberta man, 77 years old, charges attacking bear, swearing in Cree, and rams a branch down the animal's
throat. Do not attack a bear. There are.
I so wish I had the article to read that. That sounds so fucking hardcore.
Well, and this is the bear chats.
I know.
We should be dedicating every week to at least one
bear story. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with us?
I don't know.
There's more penis stories than there are bear stories. That's
exactly.
Wrong.
That's not wrong.
That
just makes us pedo bears.
Well, he's already a pedo bear.
I bought.
You bought a pedo bear?
Yes.
Oh, from that toy place?
Yeah, they finally.
Is it that one little thing? Because I was looking at that.
Yeah.
They have a picture of it with a vendor or something like that.
There was a bear. It was called pedobearplush.com. You can try looking it up, and I think it'll redirect you now to the real site that sells it.
But they have a Facebook, right?
Yeah,
I looked
Facebook.
at that.
I'm part of the Facebook fan of that one. And I
became a fan after that.
I broke down. I had to get it.
How much was it?
I actually bought it. It was $27 after shipping in Italy.
Disc Toys, that's what it is.
So I gotta have a pedo
toys.
Stay tuned for pretty soon, either on the Facebook page or on the web page itself. I'll put a picture of it whenever I get it. But anyways.
How long does it take to ship?
5 to 7 business days, one like that.
Wait,
it's already shipped. It was shipped yesterday.
How much was it, you said?
It'll probably get here in the next 3 days, so I'll probably say Wednesday.
Is it FedEx or what?
I don't know. I think it's UPS.
I want a pedo bear.
I have a pedo bear. You don't.
How much was it?
$27.
I want it.
Entrepreneur's system sends warning to drivers' GPS devices when they're approaching speed cameras. Since government insists that the cameras are all about safety, not revenue, we can be sure he'll have their full support.
Cool.
I would like it for them to start integrating a GPS that you can locate cops' locations.
Yes!
That would be badass.
That'd be
perfect.
It's so illegal. Yeah, very short-lived.
I mean, you remember they had that machine that you could change lights to green?
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
Legal for like a week, 3 days or something like that.
Damn.
It was cheap. It was like $70. It was like, you get that.
They should bring that back and make it legal. So you're not going down Texas Avenue and you have like 5 signs just all of a sudden going red.
I hate the damn lights here. They suck. I hit every red light all the time.
Well, anyways, I think it's just right at over an hour, like right at an hour.
Nice.
So I'll finish with one last article, unless if there's something else you want to share. One more? No?
Me.
It's official now. Facebook US traffic is nearing Google and Yahoo.
Yes, that's crazy.
Web analytics firm Compete has released its data for the month of May, and as Justin Smith over at Inside Facebook has already pointed out, U.S. traffic to Facebook has increased a nearly 8% to 82.9 million unique visitors last month. With Facebook Connect sites generated at additional 65 million uniques. That means that, according to Compete, a total of 113 million people in the U.S. interacted with this Facebook service. The data also shows that MySpace is still steadily decreasing compared to the beginning of the year, while Twitter growth seems to have flattened all of a sudden.
Why?
What?
Oh, flattened.
Yeah.
Like it's staying.
Like it's stagnant. Like it was increasing and now it's just flattened out.
Because there's nothing else to do with Twitter.
I know.
No.
And a lot of celebrities are getting off of Twitter because apparently there's no way to verify who you say you are, so someone could say, "Oh, I'm Trent Reznor," and then make up an ID, and then put up a bunch of spam under his name.
And the most popular one is a cat.
The cat.
Yeah, I know. What was his name?
Oh, Oh shit, I forgot.
Mr. Bigglesworth or something. I don't know. While it was interesting to see how the hot social networks stack up in terms of traffic, I thought I'd also take a look to see how well Facebook is doing compared to the other web giants like Google.com, Yahoo.com, and MSN.com. To my surprise, Facebook appears to have become a real challenger to these internet juggernauts, who are relatively old compared to the social network that started out in 2004 as a university student-only service and only really opened up to the public in September 2006. Evidently, this is only one way to look at things. First, Compete does not always provide spot-on traffic estimates. Data from ComScore suggests Facebook had yet to surpass MySpace in U.S. traffic back in March, when Compete said it was way past MySpace. And second, it was hardly fair to compare these websites, as they all serve different purposes and audiences. But the picture painted here is that Facebook is unmistakably grown up to become one of the most popular internet destinations on the planet, both in terms of registered users, well beyond 200 million at this point, and in terms of received traffic. And we're still talking about the privately held, albeit massively funded, company that has come this far. No wonder its valuation is surging. Then there's our model of the true value of social networks, which gave Facebook a clear lead as well. For comparison, Compete pegs Google to have received a total of 145.5 million unique visitors in May, ahead of Yahoo, 135.5 million, and MSN.com, 97.5 million. Which means Facebook has already overtaken the MSN website and is nearing the former too. It's important to note that all four sites show a significant increase in US traffic since the beginning of this year, but Facebook is definitely on the steepest growth curve here. In January 2009, total traffic to Facebook was somewhere around 68.5 million uniques, which means the May number of 113 million represents a 61% jump, mostly thanks to the successful spread of the Facebook Connect service. If these trends persist, expect Facebook to come out top of the Compete charts as well for the year it ends. I don't know if you know what Facebook Connect is, but a lot of websites like dig.com have like this Facebook Connect button at the top, where if you find a news article that you find funny, or if you're another website that serves pictures, or another website like YouTube that has videos, there's a Facebook Connect button in each of those websites that if you're looking at one particular thing, you press the Facebook Connect, automatically logs you on your Facebook and posts it either on a link on your profile, someone else's profile, or you can send it as a note.
A link?
Yeah, there's a link to that website. So Facebook Connect pretty much connects other websites to Facebook to the people that you want to send it to. So that's why Facebook is getting so many unique user hits now, is because now that that feature is open and available, people are sharing with each other what they think is funny, stupid, interesting, whatever.
Speaking of...
In other words, Facebook is about to take over the world.
I think
Facebook is the world.
They said they will always be privately owned, so they don't want to sell out to like Google or something like that.
So Google sold for what, 3 billion? 2 billion? 3 billion?
To who?
Years ago. Years and years ago they sold.
Oh, here we go.
One who created...
What?
No, this is something else. I kind of do want to read it, but we're past the 1 hour. Should we read it or no?
What is it?
The good, the bad, and the ugly of the WWDC. So it just highlights the good stuff, the bad stuff. And
I already have the article, so, I mean, if you want to read it.
Okay.
And we already talked about the iPhone too much anyways.
Yeah.
It pretty much just sums up new iPhone, kind of cool. Is it worth the upgrade depending on AT&T's subsidiary prices? Not really. AT&T sucks. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
They're complaining about stuff that they wish the iPhone still had that they haven't upgraded, like a detachable battery, upgradable memory slot to put in your SD card in there. Little shits like that. Anyways, I guess that's about wraps it up. It was a good show, but my computer just died.
Computer died?
I think I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for a little bit before I upload the show. And seriously, it's like way overheating right now.
And you said refrigerator. refrigerator.
It's a refrigerator.
It's a refrigerator.
It is a refrigerator. What? Is it not a refrigerator?
Refrigerator?
Huh?
Hmm?
Refrigerator. Refrigerator.
You're saying refrigerator.
It's a fridge. I'm gonna put my laptop in the fridge. How's that? The ice box. It's the ice box. I'm gonna put it in the ice box. Is that better?
No, not ice box.
Why? Because it just makes me look
You're
really
saying
old.
refrigerator. Refrigerator. No,
Refrigerator. Refrigerator.
Now you're saying it right. So you're saying refrigerator.
The debate continues after the show. Keep listening.
Shut up. God!
To stop it somehow.
Like a pecker?
Beggar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Rudy fantasizing about
Balls.
Jay.
Take my chance. Yeah, I've thrown out of the grave and I'm gonna take my chance. Yeah, I've thrown out of the grave.